Today is February 23rd. Today's quote is entitled, "When you change, what you see changes." Ultimately, becoming free from criticism is done best by changing the way we see others and the world. When you change the way you see things, the things you see change. Thus, you relate to them differently. You react to what you think is happening, what you tell yourself is happening. So sometimes, to illustrate this point, when I'm doing a workshop, I'll show my recorder. It's called a Zoom H4. Some of you may be familiar. It's a portable recorder. And I glorify it. I tell everyone all the great features it has. And so everyone looks at it, appreciates it. And then I say, actually, I was just fooling you. It's really not a great recorder. It's not professional. It has these flaws. And the really great recorder is this other one, and I'll show a picture. So what I've done is I've changed people's perception and thus their feeling about something. I haven't changed the object. When I was glorifying the Zoom H4 recorder, it looked quite good to everyone. But when I stopped glorifying it and glorified another one and said how bad this recorder actually is, all of a sudden it didn't look so good anymore. So a lot of us, we want to stop criticizing, but it's not something that's artificial, that you can just take a vow and never do it. Well, some of you may be able, because you're very strong, to take a vow and not do it. But ideally, it has to come from some internal shift. So when I say, if we change the way we see things, things change. If you change the way you look at a devotee by making an internal shift, then all of a sudden the devotee looks appreciable. You want to respect him. You want to glorify him or her. You want to honor him. You're not envious. You're not jealous. Just by looking at things differently. So if you're challenged with criticism, the problem is you're looking at things in a certain way which, I don't want to say engenders criticism, but for lack of a better word, you're looking at it in a way in which your vision becomes the cause or the stimulus for the criticism, rather than looking at that devotee in a way where it would cause you to appreciate. So there's an internal shift which causes you to look at things differently. Then when you look at things differently, you relate differently, you feel differently. Even the same experience, when looked at from a different angle, will have a different emotional impact on you. Now that's what reading Shastra does, or hearing philosophy. It changes perspective. So when perspective changes, then how we were feeling about something, it also changes. So that perspective change is uplifting us. So if we hear the glories of the devotees, if we change the perspective on how valuable devotee association is, how important the mercy of the devotees are, how important pleasing the devotee is, changes our vision. So all of a sudden we see devotees in a different light, we see them in a more appreciable way. And so naturally we wouldn't want to criticize. But because we see in a specific way, then that becomes the cause of this seemingly unsatiable desire to criticize. So when you change the way you look at things, things look different. And when they look different, you relate differently to them.